West Texas Intermediate crude oil so far up on the day. If it's up again tomorrow, I could exit my short position. More on that in a second. If you were following the financial news shows for investment advice, you are probably confused as hell and think that the financial news shows are bipolar, and they have been. The stock market, if you go back to November, really not a lot higher than it was 2 months ago. Here's a chart of the NASDAQ 100 QQQ. Again, really hasn't gone anywhere in a month. And the financial news shows they need a little more consistency to build on what they're going to force feed down your throat. They need a bunch of up days in order to say to you, everything's great, the stock market is the best thing since sliced bread, buy at higher prices. Or if the market is falling, they force feed fear down your throat and share with you to sell. So they have been all over the place, very difficult if you have been turning to them. Meanwhile, if you have only just been with me for a month or two, you have seen how rock steady I am. I have shared with you, and I can absolutely be wrong, that my research continues to tell me that we are in a late stage bull market where at least maybe for the next 2 to 6 months, stock prices could generally be higher. Therefore, if we get short-term fear that I can be a buyer, specifically I bought on December 19th and 20th, a pretty good time, not the greatest time in the last month, but a pretty good time, and buying in fear and holding otherwise. Meanwhile, the financial news shows have just been all over the place. If you want to get off of that emotional roller coaster and have some steadiness, some confidence in your life, welcome. This is not investment advice, and if you don't know me, I'm John Crocker, professional investor, proud American, cigar lover, and owner of Crocker Capital, LLC. So I've literally been short U.S. oil, West Texas Intermediate crude oil for 2 weeks now. As I shared with you yesterday, that price action literally came down to that line I have defined for you in the past at about $72.34 a barrel. Hopped off of that yesterday, higher today. If it is at least 0.4% or higher tomorrow, I very likely could exit that short position. If it is lower at all tomorrow, I could very likely hold on to my short position because the chance it would exist anyway for prices to come down even lower, so we shall see. The underlying data is a little bit mixed on the day. The McClellan Summation Index, that measure of breadth of the stock market, still continuing higher. I think that's bullish. Right here is the 10-year yield up on the day, and so we did not confirm the breakdown below 4.54%. We're above it so far today. Let's see what happens. Again, I've shared with you forever, I think we generally need a lower 10-year yield to have a generally higher stock market. The US dollar was definitely higher today. Yesterday, it came down to that line that I had predefined for you weeks ago there at 107.05. Popped up off of that. Higher today, I definitely want to see it remain under 108.24 because I think if we go much higher than that, could be a little bit bearish for the stock market. We'll see, but here are the levels to watch. Here's the NASDAQ 100 QQQ at 2:52 in the afternoon. It will be very interesting to see how we close at 4 o'clock, but at least as of 2:52, wow, what a difference a day makes. The only thing we have is the confirmed breakdown below that white upsloping trend line. Yesterday, we did not close below $513.39 a share, so there was no unconfirmed breakdown below about $513. There was, of course, the unconfirmed breakdown below $522.67 a share, but that is absolutely negated today. And let's see at the close, can the Qs close above about 523? If we do, could be a little bit bullish. So bigger picture, longer term, I think the bull market could continue for another 2 to 6 months. In the medium term, I personally think my research says that we are somewhere around neutrality. In the short term to immediate term, I think we're more exuberant, more towards the sides of a lot of happiness. And what can happen? That rubber band of exuberance snaps back. But because in the medium term, in my opinion, and I can be wrong, my friend, we are pretty much neutral, I think stocks can continue to be sloppy, choppy sideways, so watch for some chop. Could absolutely come down a little more from here. That is absolutely possible. Of course, tomorrow is Fed Day. Let's see what Jerome Powell has to say. the meeting kind of notes come out at 2 o'clock. Let's see if they pause, which they probably will, or not. And then let's see what Jerome Powell actually has to say at 2:30. But be watching the market tomorrow, starting at least at 2 o'clock, definitely by 2:30. Natural gas as of the middle of the afternoon, confirming the breakdown below $3.37 a cubic foot. This is wonderful. I have been short natural gas for quite a while now. Yep, I am still underwater on it. But with the confirmed breakdown now, it is possible for nat gas to come down to $2.87. Watch these levels.